Hey there. The other day I was spending some time with my mom and we were talking about self-love and what it means to take care of ourselves. And we had the idea that taking care of ourselves is a lot like taking care of a child. Of course, there are differences between adults and children and what is appropriate for adults and what is appropriate for children. Of course, that's not what I'm talking about, But our idea was that we often do things to ourselves that we would never do to our children. For example, I was telling her that lately I've been really lazy sometimes when it comes to preparing food, and that I'm hungry, I just want it to be fast and to get some food in my belly and not think about it anymore, and so I've been cooking a big batch of pasta and just eating that with a bit of salt on top. And that's it. That's all I ate for dinner. And she was asking me, well, would you do that to your child? Hell no, I would not feed my child like that. Never. And then it became clear to me that so often I do things that I would never do to my child. So we were talking about this and it really made me think, and I really asked myself, like, if I wouldn't do it to my child, should I really be doing it to myself? And aside from the obvious differences between children and adults, I think no, I shouldn't. If I wouldn't do it to my child, I shouldn't do it to myself either. So now when I'm about to make choices, I often ask myself, like, would I do this to my child? And if the answer is no, then I don't do it. For instance, I would never force my child to sit all day long and not get to go outside to play and move their body, because that would be horrible and very unhealthy. And therefore, I don't do that to myself either anymore. Now I make sure that every day I go out and move my body outside. I would also never force my child to stay up late even though they're tired. I would tell them, you can still do that tomorrow. No, just go to bed if you're tired. And yet myself, I often push myself to keep going a bit more, even though I'm really tired, because I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to do this and I still have items on my list to do, and I push myself beyond my limits. So I'm not doing that anymore now. I just say, like I would to a child, I say, okay, you can still do that tomorrow. Now just go to bed and rest if that's what you need now. I've been treating myself much more gently and much more nicely, since I keep in mind, how would I treat my own child if I had a child? And as part of that, I also am going back now to a very healthy diet, because I've been eating quite a lot of junk lately, and yeah, it's convenient and it tastes good and stuff, but I would never feed my child like that. So now I'm back to a really, really healthy diet, and that is my gift to myself for this year's Valentine's Day. So my question for you is, what are you doing that you would never do to your own child? And then look at these choices and maybe consider treating yourself more gently and more nicely.